Hello everybody, thank you for watching this video. Today I would like to talk to you about my struggle with this plant, which is the Monstera standleyana variegata white. This plant can be found in the wild, mainly in Central America, where it grows as a climbing vine using other plants or trees as a support. Now in my experience, this is not the easiest houseplant to take care for, and it took me quite some time to figure out its needs and how to take care for it. Now, the plant you see here is my mother plant, and you might see two things that are a bit odd. Firstly, the fact that there are two moss poles of different heights in there, and also that the plant is clearly outgrowing even the tallest moss pole. But before getting into that, let's have a look at what this plant looked like on the day it arrived at my home. Now, I ordered this plant online in December 2020, and I think I paid 26 euros for it, which in my opinion was a good deal, since there were actually 3 plants in the pot, which is the reason also why it looks so full on this picture. Now, I read that this plant can survive in medium light, so that's what I gave it, and that was a huge mistake. In no time, 2 of the 3 vines were dead, and I was left with only 1 sad vine. Now what I did in order to try and save the remaining vine, I put it right under a grow light. And that's where I'm keeping it since then, as you can see, and the artificial light definitely saved the plant. It started to perk up and vining like there's no tomorrow. Now, why do I love this plant? First of all, it looks nothing like the more common monsteras, like the deliciosa or the adansonii. This one has long, thick, oval-shaped leaves with white splashes, which make each leaf look quite unique. By the way, it's important to let the top layer of soil dry out before you water this plant, and a good indication that it's thirsty is that those gorgeous leaves will start curling up when the plant needs another drink. Secondly, once this plant is happy, it is a very fast grower. My plant outgrew its first moss pole in a matter of weeks, so I tried to give it a bigger moss pole. The problem was that the remaining vine was so firmly attached to the first moss pole that I just couldn't take it off without the risk of breaking the vine. So what I did was I just added a second, bigger moss pole while keeping the first, even though this is perhaps not the most aesthetic choice. Now, as you can see, the plant has yet again outgrown even its second moss pole. You can see the 2 vines hanging down from the top, so what I did, I started cutting the plant and propagated. And as you can see, the original vine is now accompanied by 3 new cuttings that I first propagated in water and then potted up in the original pot. Now, in my opinion, this is the issue with moss poles in general. The happier the plant, the more often you have to change the moss pole. And in the end, no moss pole is tall enough to support a happy vining plant. It will always outgrow the moss pole, no matter how tall it is. So what I do is I will replace the original moss pole perhaps one time by a taller one, but that's it. After that I will cut the plant back and propagate it, because even the tallest moss pole will only buy you some time, and that's it. In the meanwhile, I'm showing you some other propagations that I took from the mother plant. These are all growing in pon, which is a substrate that this Monstera really likes. You can also see that you can also have this plant trailing down, but sooner or later it will start putting out a runner, which is basically a vine with hardly any leaves at all. Now, the best thing to do with runners is to just cut them off and put them in vermiculite or perlite to be propagated as wet sticks, and that works just fine in my experience. So overall, perhaps not the easiest plant, but give it a lot of bright light and let the soil dry out somewhat, and you should be just fine. That's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you feel like it. Have a nice day. Bye bye.